Hey guys, Chris from Double K Outdoors here. You'll have to excuse the background noise today. As you can see, I'm working on my garage, and it is hot. It's about 100 degrees out here, so you're gonna see short segments of this entire process. But what I'm gonna do today, or in this video, is I'm gonna show you how to take this and turn it into something like this. So I'm basically gonna show you how I'm turning some of these baits into these custom baits and the amount of work that it takes to get that to happen. It's no small feat. I'm just gonna do it in chunks, so you're gonna see a little bit here, a little bit there, because I gotta take breaks. I'm already sweating just sitting out here, but we can get this process started. Hearing things. Okay. When you can't get the bait box. Oh, what was that? It flew right out my nose. Did you see that? Oh, God. Oh, that was terrible. See, that did not help me get into this thing. Yes, it did. Oh, my goodness. And we'll just do this. Get out of my face. Whatever you are. You're gonna get the electric racket. Go ahead. Bring it. No? You done? Going away? Much is probably on my hat. Anyways, first things first. I keep the case that it comes in because I will put all of the stuff that I have to take off back in that. I'm gonna throw those away. Sorry, that bug bugged me because I got to take the hooks off and everything. So, gosh. Seriously, whatever you are, go away. So I've got a pair of pliers that have like the little crimp end for the needle nose, and it helps with the split ring. I don't know what that is, but it apparently really likes me. Now I will tell you, at first you need to take this process slow, because I could not tell you how many times I poked myself with one of those. And yes, I take off everything I possibly can. That includes the little split ring on the front. It's not very big, but I take that one off too, because I have to take this bill off in order to paint. And yes, I know that this isn't a clear bill, and that's okay, because I don't think the fish are going to care anyways. That bug is really bugging me. I don't know what it is, but it needs to go away. What it is about me that you like so much, bug, just flew right in front of my face. No? Maybe I got him. I don't know. That might help. Turn my fan up so it pushes more in this way. Ugh. So this process is a little excruciating. Why do it? How did I get gold paint on my finger already? I haven't even touched paint yet. Nope, he didn't leave. He's back. So the hardest part is you have to get tape under the O-ring, but on top of this. So a lot of times I'm going to be using multiple pieces of tape, because you have to get it all the way up under, and you need it to go as close to the bait as possible, like that. See, there's just this little itty bitty line, and I'm going to get another strip and go across it as well. I'm going to cut off some of this excess and use it. Waste not, want not. It does not have to be like perfect, but you definitely do not want a bunch of excess on there. And you don't want it to be right up against the paint job, because if you do that, when you go to remove the tape after you're done painting, it's going to remove your paint. I will even go so far as to take an X-Acto blade and go right around the edge to make sure that it cuts the paint, so when I go to clear coat it, it's not a problem. See, I'm doing the same thing for the underneath. Would y'all just go away? Actually, usually I don't cut the tape off, but I'm doing it this time because it's going to be easier. I had to put too much tape on that one side because I goofed a little bit. See, I'm just taking thin strips though, and I'm literally just lining it up with the old paint job and putting it over, and then I can wrap that over the top, make sure it's nice and sealed up, because I made that mistake before thinking, oh well, I've got it nice and tight, and then what happens, you have a little pocket. Guess what happens to that little pocket? It allows paint to get through. And then guess what? It's really annoying. Like these flies are. I'm gonna take this one step further right now. And I'm gonna cut this extra tape off. And see, I don't even care. Not one to cut. Using the right side. Yeah, using the right side. Oops. As I sit here and say, this is an easy process. You can just cut the tape, and it usually just comes right up. No, it's being a pain in the butt. Fine, just get off. And the reason I cut that tag end off is because when I go to spray paint this edge, if you have an overlap, like you have any sort of a lip more than like what you see on that side, if it's overhanging like this, the paint's going to miss on one side or the other, and you don't want that. But I also don't want to paint that bill, so I'm just going to put a small run of tape across it longways. So what I'm doing to fix that, since I cut it, as you can see, I'm just taking it, put the tape across the top, and I'm running it around the side, ensuring that I don't hit that bottom tape. Of course, the tape's not sticking at the moment, which is not helping. Stick. Good. Okay. I don't mind leaving a little extra on the top, because a lot of times I use something like this to clip on, and if you can just grab that tape, it's not going anywhere. So it comes in handy. So I don't mind leaving a little extra on the top. And you just make sure that that tape is pressed down securely. So I go back over, I press it down, make sure there's no pockets, no air holes on that bill at all. Now you can, if you have the patience for it, You can go through and tape off the eye holes. I actually have eyes, and I'll just glue them on after I get done painting. So that's the first step. And it's the same with, what is my water popper? I'm gonna do this one too, so we can kind of do them both at the same time. So water plopper, blank. There's nothing on it, everything's fine. The only thing about these is because they have the little brass insert back here, you want to tape that off so that your tape and clear coat and any paint doesn't get up in there and gunk it up, so it'll keep it from spinning. So we don't want that. You can tape off these, but you don't have to, because you're either going to knock the paint off anyways when you get done, or it's just going to end up coming off. So I think it's just at this point, it's just a waste of time. So I cut a pretty good chunk, because what I'm going to do is I push the plopper part, whatever that's called, the back end of it. I push it all the way up. We'll do it this way. And there's like a little line right here. You can kind of just barely see it. It's usually where I start the tape, if I can get it to cooperate. And then I literally just wrap the tape, kind of fold it over so that it sticks down, and then wrap it around like that, just so that I have a nice solid line for the tape to go around, so when I get done painting it's not in the way. And that also keeps this in line, and it won't allow it to move, so when you're painting you can paint all the way down the top, or if you're painting the bottom, and it'll keep the plopper, the noise maker that goes splash, that's a real technical term, it keeps it just kind of in line. And that's how I get away with doing that, and so I don't have to really cover this middle section up very much. But the first thing that I like to do, especially if I'm painting over a color, I mean, this Fire Tiger, I'm sure works great. It's a cotton Cordell, as you saw. But I'm going to primer both of these, because I do not want any part of this color to come through, not for what I'm going to do. Some colors you can actually get away with not even put anything on there, and you can go straight to painting. That's what these blanks are good for. But this, I don't want to do that, because there's too much variety in that color. So I'm going to put a primer coat over both of these just to blank them out. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and do a matte black coat so that I can get a blank canvas to start on. The primer just really helps the matte black adhere to it. So let's go do that right now. You like my fancy painting area? Backyard fence. Works great. Now you see I actually put a clip on both of them so that I can, when I primer it, I can spin it and make sure that that coat goes even. So I'm just going to set that up there for the moment. Usually I do these one at a time, so you can see how this is going to get done. If you're the type of person that doesn't like to get a little dirty, this ain't for you. Be right back. Now I'll show you what that primer can actually do, because it doesn't take away any of the effect of the paint, like the grooves or anything. So that water plopper has built-in scales to it. It's gonna really help. You'll see it. Primer doesn't take it away. This one's going to take a little bit more because it's so colorful. The good thing about this primer, and this is just Krylon 2-in-1 automotive, I think. Yeah, automotive primer. This stuff dries so amazingly fast. Like, it's almost already dry. And if you notice, this is how I was talking about. you can still see Cordell in the bottom of the bait. What is that? Really? Did that crack? We'll see if that has seals when it cures all the way. Okay, so back into the garage we go. And that's that process. Then what I do is I have this little hanging station here, and that's what you can see most of these are for. See, there's the whopper plopper that I just did. And I'm gonna hang this one up right next to it. I don't know how well you can see that. I just let them sit and hang for, I don't know, 10 minutes. Sometimes you don't even have to wait that long. So, come back to you when they're dry, like completely dry. Now, you can use an airbrush for this part, but I found just any fast drying matte black. I mean, this is just enamel spray. So you can see they're both dry. Can't really see anything through them. Even if you miss just a small smidgen of a spot, as long as it's dark colored, it shouldn't matter, or white. Either one, because those are good base coats. So I'm just gonna get these all blackened out, and then on to the next step. To the baby bunny. And see it, when you get done, it should look like that, to where it's nice and blacked out all the way around. You don't want to see any color. So I'm gonna go put this up real fast. I'll be right back. Whopper plopper time. See, I'll show you what I was talking about. Even though that I've done the black on it, you can still see all of the lines. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see all the lines still very defined on it. Missed a spot right there. I need to hit that. Actually, I didn't. It's just drying really, really fast. So like some of this is already drying while others is still a little bit wet. I'm gonna hang this up for maybe 10 or 15 minutes to let it dry. Check it again. Sorry, my dog's outside and she's talking to me apparently. So we'll let that dry and then we'll move on to the next one. A little bit of a line there. It ain't gonna matter. This is about to turn into this color. So we're gonna see. We're gonna do it right now. Let's mold it up. Doing a whole thing. See that big lump right there. Come on. Come on, Professor, keep up. About time. It's getting there. Still got a little little bit of a tint to it I need to fix. Yes, I'm caking it up really good because I need it to be orange, orange, orange. And I might have to do a couple of coats. So I might actually let that dry for just a minute. Just hang it up. Let that dry. I got black stuff all over my hands. So yeah, this is why I put a paper towel down. You can see it's very orange now. I have wax paper up here, paper towel here. It just catches most of it. So, that wasn't supposed to happen. Well, I'm going to set you somewhere a little safer for the moment. I'm going to set you right there. So the object is to get it as even as possible without bunching it up. And I can tell I bunched up a little bit on the front and back. It's getting there. I think maybe one more good coat and that should do it. You can still see Cordell in the back of it, so you can see why you have to tape it off real good now, because that paint gets all over everything. I've got a fan, not that you can see, I've got a fan blowing this direction at me, so I'm holding it in front of the fan so it dries a little bit faster. This is the fun part. Waiting over and over and over. You don't realize how much time you spend waiting on something to dry. So you know what? I'll come back once it's dry. It's just a view. We're gonna try this view. Hopefully the fan doesn't affect it too much. But you can see how it's coming out. For the most part already dry. It's only been like 5 minutes, so not very long. So add a little bit more juice. That's probably too much. But that's alright. Because I gotta finish this. I gotta get it as bright orange as I can, and this is the brightest orange that I've got. So here goes another one. I don't know, should I answer it? Spam risk. You should. You just start messing with them. Oh, that'd be a whole different video, though. So that's what's interesting is like half of the paint is already dried on this thing. It just dries so fast. That's a good thing. Just doing a couple little touch-ups. Try and see if I can get this to be completely even across the board. It's looking good. Oh, that's a lot of paint. 4. And so that's a good thing about airbrushing is if you put too much on in one area, wait 5 minutes, go over it again until you can even it out. That looks pretty even to me. Looks really even. Just don't like that cut. Why is that there? Oh, did I really just do? I did. Dang it. It's gonna have a little defect there. Hopefully it'll fill in though. So I messed up and I touched it to the paper towel. You can see like this little area right there. It's not much. I mean, it's very, very minor. It's just like right there. That's all it takes. I might be able to layer it again and see. And it was going so well. Was. Hurry up and dry so I can hit you again. There it is. Yeah. That's better. Usually I don't condone loading up paint on one side like that, but when it dries it should be fairly even. And it filled in the hole that the stupid paper towel put in it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes. So I'm just gonna hang it up. I'm gonna let it dry for a second. I gotta clean my airbrush out because I gotta change paints. So I'll be back after these messages. It's gonna get interesting real fast. Brand new. This is really black. Like black. I'm not even going to use that much because I don't need that much for what I'm about to do. Come on. Didn't realize I had it so far up in that clip. Alright, so we get some black going. Holy smokes. Okay. Mosquitoes, I'm telling you. It's pretty good. Let's see, trying to make sure that those lines stay fairly even. It's still not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be there. It's pretty close. Close enough for government work. Alright. Front is completely blacked out. That's good. I'm going to put a little bit of red underneath. I'm going to do that in a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to do that next. So I'm going to hang it to dry for a minute. Rinse the airbrush out again. And then I'm going to move on to red. We're gonna try something that I don't have a whole lot of experience in right now. We're gonna try it. Pearl satin gold. Don't know if you can see this, but put this mesh over the top of it so I can do a honeycomb pattern down the side and on the top and fade it towards the bottom down here, but I want it to be on the top where the black is and across where some of this orange is. We're gonna try it. No promising. It's the first time I've done this. So I might be really bad at it. Gotta let the ink get down in there. I put just a little bit of ink. Alright, here goes nothing. Wish me luck. I'm staying off at a distance so that it doesn't put like a super fine coat on it. But it adds just enough tint to it. Just trying to even it up now. Missed it by a second or two. So what this is going to do is you can kind of see it's putting a gold tint to some of it and all the way around. Now I'm about to take this mesh off, gently lift it up and make sure that it's actually got the nice little honeycomb pattern. So bear with me, because if you go too fast on this you'll stretch the paint out. See, when you do it right, you get the nice little honeycomb. Oh, yeah, that's probably good. When you do it right, you get that nice honeycomb on top. That is actually the first time that I've ever tried that. I can't believe I got it right on the first try. It even fades on the sides. Let's see. Yeah, I got it a pretty darn even. Why are my lights flashing? Oh, I know why. I'm dumbfounded. I can't believe I nailed that the first try. Came down the head just enough so when I put the eyes on it, it's gonna be just a nice smooth. Oh man, that turned out better than I thought it was going to. So alright, I'm gonna let that dry so I don't mess it up, and then I'm probably gonna do a quick clear coat just to make sure that it's not gonna get messed up, because right now if you touch it, it's could possibly mess the paint up and I don't want to risk it. So what I'm gonna do is give it a few minutes for the paint to kind of dry, set, and then I'm gonna put a clear coat over it, just a spray clear coat, just to make sure that it doesn't wash the color out, and then I can keep painting over it because it's not like a super shine, it's not on epoxy or anything, it's just clear coat. So let me do that, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little concerned about the honeycomb pattern that I was putting on there. I'm not as worried. That turned out really well. The clear coat is almost done setting. I'll show you in just a minute what it looks like. That's not really the part that I'm worried about. I've only done this once before, and while it turned out really good, I was using a much bigger bait to do it. I was using a whopper plopper. I'm pointing at it like you can see it. I used a whopper plopper and I painted lines into the side. I'm now trying to paint a pattern into the side of this bait, you know, just basically give it some curves and just spotty pattern basically, but curved line pattern, not just spots. Because I could do spots, that'd be easy. But this is Jetback. No, this is Jet Black, and I have it reduced so it's a little thinner. So when it sprays, it should come out less thick than just straight from the bottle. So, see, after it's clear coated, I'll show you. Nice little twisty twist there. And it's actually, it's dry, 100%. And this way it protects the paint job that I've already got on there. Because, oh man, I would be so bummed out right now if I did something and it messed that paint job up. That would drive me nuts to have to start back over from scratch. Actually, it wouldn't be that difficult. I just have to get the orange and just start over again with the orange. But it's still a pain. I don't want to do it. So, I've got the PSI cranked way down on my compressor so that it can't cause the airbrush to spit. That would be bad right now. And I'm putting on these little clips. Yes, they're pink. They were cheap and they work really well. So don't give me any crap over having pink clips. But these pink clips, I can rest it on the table when I go to spray, so I'm not accidentally moving this, and I'm gonna brace my arm up against the table too, so I've got really, really good balance. Plus, when I go to set it down, it stands up and it's like off the table. You just have to keep it from actually touching the paint. Anyways, so let me get this black that's been reduced in here. And we're gonna cross our fingers that I can get this right. Oh, if I can get the paint off. It doesn't look like it's reduced, but believe me, it is. I put quite a bit of reducer in here. So it is definitely reduced. And all that means is it's a thinner paint than what comes straight out of the bottle. And I don't need a whole heck of a lot, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot in here. That's probably even more than enough. Let me put the lid back on. I was doing a lot of black, that's why I did this, so that I could just have one big bottle of it, pre-mixed, and it's reduced down. I still have just the regular color, like, I mean, I've got a whole bottle right here. So it's not that I can't do it, it was just making sure that I had some that was reduced. Okay, that's going to be real dark. I'm just practicing some of these lines real quick. It's another good reason to have a paper towel down here. Oh, it's going to come out fast. Okay, so anyway, because that's going to come out like quick. I'm gonna cut that down just a little bit. Whoa! So I'm just trying to get a feel for exactly where I need to put the. Come on, get it up. Really? I am super nervous because this thing is. I don't normally just run while the compressor's on, but I don't have much of a choice right now in order to get the ink pattern that I want. I gotta run it while it's going, or I'm gonna miss my opportunity. So I'm trying to go like super duper light. And barely put like any air out. and I'm getting close so that it doesn't spray wide. Come on. That is ultimately what I ended up doing. So it's not perfect by any means, but it's got a nice little stripe pattern to it. I'm gonna see if I can duplicate it on the other side now. I goofed. I'm not sure how I'm gonna fix it yet. That side came out good. That side did not. What had happened was there was a little line like right here, and I went to fix it. I was trying to come down at an angle like this, and it just went because I went a little too heavy on the trigger. Sure. I don't know. I may just leave it like that because it looks like it's got a couple of little spots to it. What's it gonna hurt? It's a random pattern, and that's what we were going for. I didn't even fix that side. It's not near as dark. The gill plate's not dark enough. I know what's happening. It's clogging up in there. Because it's not giving me a fine line anymore. There it goes. Darken that gill plate up a lot, and they are not even. And sometimes that works out to a benefit, but I do like how that side turned out. Not bad, not bad. Let go, let go. So that's ultimately what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to let that set for a few minutes, and then I need to put the eyeballs on, and yeah, I'll go from there. I wonder if I should put anything on the bottom. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do that, and I would need to do that now. Where's my iridescent? Is my iridescent up there? I moved it up there, didn't I? I bet I did, yeah.
Then it's up here.
Sure. So as soon as that dries, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add. This is the easiest way that I found to do it. You can get the airbrush paint for it, but I just don't see the point when I can do it so much easier with spray paint, and you can apply it very evenly. And what that does is it puts this rainbowish pattern on there. And you can do it real light, or you can do it real heavy. This would be heavy, but I can check that shit. Ow! Okay. See how you can see a little bit of it in there, even on the top? This is a very light. It's just a couple of seconds is all it took to spray paint that entire thing. Now, you can go a little heavier, which there's a lot more flakes in that. I'm hoping the camera picks that up. Or you can go really heavy and you can make the whole thing really flash. So it really just depends on what you're wanting to do with it. And I don't want it to be a lot of, I'm gonna shoot for something more like this, just to add a little bit of pizzazz. Just a little bit of pizzazz. Probably stuff back up. These are all my custom bakes, by the way. I got like 2 things. Hold on. Damn it. Ow. Ow. Twice? Really? Man, those people call laser sharp hooks. I ain't joking. They are laser sharp. Okay. That should be sufficient time. Yeah, it's not coming off, so. Alright, I'm gonna go give it a little iridescent, and I'll be right back. So now comes another fun task. So I got the spray on there, I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me get this nasty paper towel out of here. See what that iridescent does is it gives it a little bit of extra flare, I guess you could call it. And just a little bit of extra sparkle. Sorry, I'm trying to look at it so I can see what you guys are seeing, and I shouldn't do that. So that's what we're working with now. It should be dry by this point because this stuff does not take long. It's extremely fast, and that's one of the reasons why I like using it, is it literally takes like 2 minutes for it to dry. So, eyeballs. We gotta get them eyeballs on. You see, I got it on there. It causes it to bug just a little bit, but to me it looks more natural that way, because fish eyes are they're never really flat anyways. So, man, this one side's not gonna stay down. See if I can get just a little bit in there. Let's see, all I'm gonna do is line it up right where the original eyeballs were. That actually worked really well. I'm gonna have to start doing that from now on, because yeah, that was easy. It's a cake. Look at me. Learn something new every day, huh? Okay. They're a little off. Won't affect the bait, but they're a little off. Alright, so I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry. And then I got to take this off. Which I guess I can do that now while those eyes are sealing. So it won't take long for that to dry. And I can show you guys what it actually looks like when it's all said and done with. Almost there. Almost there. And voila. All the paint's off. You can still see, if you look really hard, you can still see a little bit of the fluorescent from where the fire tiger color really was. But it's just such a minor amount that I'm not even going to worry about it. It actually might even add just a little bit of flare to it. But yeah, that is pretty much done. I just need to clear coat it. And then we're good from there. Just a simple, quick little clear coat. Takes forever for it to dry, but actually I'm gonna epoxy coat it so it stays sealed forever. And we'll go from there. But yeah, finished product, start to finish. I'll show you what it looks like when I actually get it completely done. So stay tuned. Guess what? Finished it. Well, almost. So let me go ahead and show you what it actually looks like. I've got several coats of epoxy done. It's almost done curing, but it's done enough to where I can show you what it is. I can handle it and all those kind of things. So without further ado, here we go. So this is the final product. It's completely sealed and everything is good to go. All I gotta do is wait for it to finish curing, which is, I mean, you can see it's pretty much done already. I want to give it just a little bit more time, like probably until noon tomorrow, and then I'll go ahead and put all the hardware back on, the split ring in the front, the 2 hooks on the back, and it'll be ready to go after that. There's nothing saying no to not be able to take it out and take it fishing. So actually, I had something very specific in mind for this. This one, that one is kind of special. That one I painted for my dad. I'm hoping that he gets to use it, and I was hoping that I'd be able to give it to him on Father's Day, but he's actually out camping, so I'm not going to be able to give it to him. But I will give it to him as the next time I see him, and I'm hoping that he puts it to good use when he goes to Canada on his fishing trips. So more coming. Stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. I know that this was a long one, but it was a fun one. I really enjoyed this process. Thanks for watching, and always remember, keep catching.
Just a little bit of pussy.